Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we did more Void Crusades and we finished off, I think, these two? Yeah, as I look at my handy dandy chart, it was these two. And now we have to do this one, and then the chart says the one opposite right of the one I've selected down here. So, the one after this one. So I don't know how I'm going to hop over there. For now, we're just going to knock this one out and see what happens. Push comes to shove, I might just go do this secret mission. To secure the artifact, I think that's a defense, so at least I know what I'm getting into.
Electrospectral scans have revealed that the Xenox artifact is nearby, but it is protected. You must access the cogitators to gain access. May the Omnisar guide your hand.
This isn't how I expect it to be. That's fine. I think this is just kind of another, hey, wipe out everybody and claim this area deal. But interesting news for Warhammer. We finally got some review, or at least a reveal for Cathay. Both for the old world and for Warhammer 3. And people who clearly have never looked at Warhammer in the first place were complaining that the design choices are, they said, I think it was orientalizing Cathay. Essentially just stereotyping. And all I could think is, yes, literally every culture that has a human, real-world equivalent is flanderized horribly in Warhammer Fantasy. I mean, they straight up have samurais and stuff for a Japanese faction called Nippon. They just took Japan in Japanese and were like, yeah, that's good enough. That's what we'll call them. So, getting frustrated over that when, you have Britonia, which is just French and, to a degree, English knights. You have the Empire, which is just Germany. It is just really stupid. The actual reveal looked interesting. One of the art or environment things I saw I didn't like, though, it was for Nippon, Cathay. It was, I'm trying to think, a bunch of temples on top of floating rocks, like it's Pandora from Avatar. And I was just sitting there thinking, that's a little too much even for Warhammer. Just because it looks so goofy and out of place compared to everywhere else where it's like, yeah, for the most part the laws of physics still apply. The only thing that doesn't really follow is, I'm trying to think, some of the structures that the lizard men have, but they're also somewhat advanced in their technology, so it's not even that out of place. Oh yeah, we also got an update for this. The new season is in, but not active. And they also made it so destroying environmental stuff, as you can see, yields money. And they're like, oh, sometimes you can get a relic. I'm thinking that's not going to happen. But jumping back to the Cathay thing, I think it's cool. Especially because prior to this, Cathay existed in a handful of lines of lore, and that's all they really did. Just saying, yep, it exists. I'm all for expanding some of these existing groups. I'd like to see Nippon get renamed first off, and get proper faction stuff. I'd like to see Ind, because it's supposed to be India to a degree. I'd like to see them get a full and proper introduction. Past that, like the Far East in Warhammer Fantasy, they just never touched. They pretty much just said, yep, it's a place. Our version of Marco Polo, which is borderline just straight up named Marco Polo, went there. And then of course there was the announcement that Total War Warhammer 3 got delayed till early 2022. Which I'm kind of bummed about, but also totally fine with, because I'm not going to buy the game at launch. Mostly because I know how expensive it's going to be with all the upcoming DLC. So I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm just going to wait a couple of years, wait for it to all go on sale on Steam, and then buy it for like... buy pretty much everything for like $120, instead of spending potentially 4 to 5 times as much. Those Steam 66% off sales hit different, I have to say. God, all that money and it's like $75 at most. Yeah, I'm really interested. I want to see what further units they get. I'm interested in just new mechanics for Warhammer 3. I hope we get a new Vampire Coast Lord on that side, and I would say make him completely Cathay-oriented. Have his ship be like an Asian chunk. Have stuff more themed around that. I think it'd be cool. I'd like to see like the roaming pirates kind of get reworked into almost mini factions. I know that's asking a lot, but I just think it'd be cool to say, hey, I'm gonna play as literally any faction I want as a pirate. You know, certain restrictions apply. They might not get everything their mainland counterparts get, and they might get access to certain unique things. But you could keep the setting up Pirate Cove mechanic. You just don't spread Vampire Corruption. You could spread Chaos or Skaven Influence for, I think it's Sloppy Crookshank's crew. I do hope we get more... I don't know what it would be, but I really think they need more different influences beyond just Chaos and Vampire Corruption. What else really should have got a forest influence? Just kind of regrowing the world. Because that always fit way more than just being like, yeah, it's untainted. Because then you would take these places, especially capitals, and be like, oh, overgrown Nagaron. But then the area would just look normal. And I'm thinking, couldn't you just make it so a few more trees crop up and stuff like that? Hey, a Stormwatcher, that's neat. I gotta say, one thing that's cool about these Void Crusades is I have no idea what's actually new and what's just exclusive to these. Oh, I must have wiped out the actual guys tied to the event.
Take it like a man, Guardsman!
I've been meaning to actually record and do a Total War Warhammer playthrough, but I still suck. And I will sit there, I'm really terrible because I sit there and will wait a long time. I also just play on normal difficulty, but I wait long times sometimes just to resupply units, and because I'm just trying to make sure I win fights. I'm not like some of these guys who know how to abuse the AI in every way and can sit there with half-dead armies and go against full stacks, be like, yeah, I can handle this fight just fine, and lose no one. I'm not that good. I've gotten better, I'll admit, because I used to turtle a ton while playing, and I've gotten more into being an aggressive player, but it's still a challenge. Mostly because, like I said, I'm just trying to make sure I don't lose anybody, and like I'm doing a Araness Assault Spite playthrough, and I've been trapped for the longest time because I don't want to give up this dirty, tiny colony I took because I'm stupid. And the only reason I'm stuck is because there's a Beastmen Herdstone nearby, so it's just being flooded with chaos corruption, and if I leave, then the whole area is just gonna rebel, and I really don't feel like dealing with having to either lose the place after I've spent the time and resources on it, or I don't want to end up just, you know, wasting more time sitting there, but I also don't want to fight the Beastmen just yet. So I'm trapped, sitting in this place, keeping the population happy, but my main army is just trapped. So I had to make a new one. I'm shuffling around trying to colonize new areas in the Badlands.
The terminals operating the protective force field have been taken out. You must find
I'm
another
stupid.
way,
I should have just came here first. I have the money if I really wanted to build up a third army and just start sailing around. I probably should. I'm just kind of stuck, dragging my feet. Or I end up expanding into a position that I'm not happy with. Did that with my Thoric Ironbrow run through. I rapidly expanded north, just dwarves are so easy to just steamroll, like Skaven. But as a result, I own so much land, I'm kind of stuck. It's a lot of little issues that I have. They're just my playstyle not working well. Oh, hey, people are actually attacking. One other thing that bugs me is sometimes the AI just... It's the curse of RTS, or turn-based strategy AI, where people who should align with you just go insane for no reason. I was playing Throg in Norska, and I was like, oh, I'll just do my own thing, and I ended up... Everybody, except for my little plot of land, confederated into one faction, and so I went to war, jumped the leader, and forced a confederation, gaining all of Norska in a turn. And then Malekith over in Nagaron is just like, I want to kill you now. And I'm like, dude, I have done literally nothing to you or your kind. And then he just sails like 6 armies over and takes my land. I'm like, dude, what the hell? I have done literally nothing. I'm busy pillaging the Empire of Man, and you're just like, nah, I can't have this. I can't sit here and do nothing. That's not fun. And of course, Norska's economy is absolute trash. Like, I'm barely keeping, I think, 2 armies afloat with all of Norska. And I'm building the economy buildings, and this just, it's so terrible. And I have to upgrade so many buildings to not suck. Empire, they are not. I should really give another try at playing as Azag.
Data transfer charms have been successful. Covert mission coordinates inloaded.
At your command.
This is a long interaction timer.
Move! Move! I said charge!
The objectives have been met. The Xenox artifact is now in Inquisitorial custody. Praise the Omnisar.
Ooh, Archaeotech. That might... How did that one unlock, but this one didn't? Because I'm supposed to go to this one next. And I don't want to increase my difficulty. So many questions, because it says to go here, A, B, C, and then the one in the middle between this one and this one is D. Actually, no, it's bottom left A, middle B, this one on the right C, and then this Nurgle one is D. I don't get it. Yeah, and it's correct on ebony type. I don't know. Strange. Maybe I screwed up and somehow didn't get the thing I need. Well, I'm gonna quick check out that, is that... Wow, that is worse. That's disappointing. Everything else is... Yeah, we'll take it. I'll just mulch the rest of this quick. Yeah, I guess we'll just go for this one then, this secret mission. Silence the guns, that's pretty easy. Adds 2 missions, they'll bring it up to 69. Adds 11 levels. No, that's a little bold. Oh, I have to actually upgrade that. Yeah, I'd gotten 14 Uther's Taros.
Insertion complete. Transferring target coordinates of hostile artillery units to your tactical sensorium. Silence these guns before the Imperium's finest get pounded into oblivion. Good hunting.
But yeah, I got in the 14 Uther's Tarot because I think the season had ended, and all the rewards from doing that, and just a ton of stuff. Got a bunch of plans for Relic and Archaeotech gear, which I'm gonna hold off on just because it's armor, Melta pistols, and I think las pistols. And while those could be useful, I want to save them for higher level. Even though I'm very slowly leveling at this point, I'd rather hold off and wait just in case. Plus, this way if I get one just from a drop, then I can fill the other slot with another one that I can make instead of having to sit around and make two. Even though I'm not really losing much by making two, it's just why waste the resources? God, I'm gonna need a new needle rifle. This thing's starting to fall off a bit. But I can't really blame it. This thing's held out longer than I honestly expected it to.
Signal, really? You are too late. Understood. Now, where was I?
Hostile unit down. Rinse and repeat. In the name of the Emperor, of course.
I've said it before, I wish I had one of those baller builds where I could slap down the one card that adds 11 levels to the difficulty. I do wonder... I think it's just to bring low-level missions up in difficulty, because there's no way people are normally running that card in any other situation. Oh wow, I even dropped a Space Marine with that. I knew there was a turret over here. I'm taking a lot of damage. And two weirdly placed tarantula guns. Okay.
One less target to worry about.
Is there a
Keep
teleporter?
going.
No. really wondering what the payout is here, because not seeing a whole lot. What?
Loading!
I'm getting orbital striked? That's new. Yep, the Voxcaster. Man, I didn't even see anything to, like a servo skull or anything to capture.
You are still alive and more or less in one piece. That's a success, I guess. Initiating exfiltration rituals.
What do we got? Not that great, honestly. And still nothing. Well, that's something for me to solve next time. Because for now, that is it. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.